This looks weird.
Stop laughing and get your shit together. Why is this?
Alright, we're gonna try again.
In focus, in focus.
Alright, Timmy here with the Fragrance Mobster.
Hey guys, welcome back. Fucking get ready. You ready? You gonna stop laughing? You're gonna make me laugh.
Alright, okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to another fucking cast. Just wait for these.
Leaked a video.
This was just a shit idea, wasn't it, really?
It's a good idea, what are you talking about?
This is more popular.
You're doing it behind the scenes of how difficult this is to do the review. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Peter here. I'm with Timmy from Imagine Scent.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be doing first impressions of Fort Manle, which is kind of an indie niche perfumery from Australia. We don't get many brands from Australia, so this is cool.
Not really.
I discovered these by Pep from the channel The Scentinel. If you haven't checked him out, link in the description. He really likes Confessions of a Garden Gnome, but we're going to go through the range and just give first impressions. The first one I picked out is called Manduro. So we're going to give this a spray and see what we think. I don't know the notes for any of these, so we're kind of doing this blind.
Okay.
Okay guys, we're going to actually do this kind of blind. We don't really, we haven't got the note list in front of us, but I think that's a kind of a good way to do first impressions because we're not tainted by, you know, suggestion. We're just gonna smell what we smell. I'm gonna let you take the bullet for the first one.
Doesn't sound so good.
No, it's just okay. It's kind of sweet, resinous.
But it's not bad. Wow, I do like the resins. It feels really warm. Personally, I think it's a little bit feminine because of how sweet it is. I don't feel like it's overly masculine or anything. It feels a touch feminine. Yeah, I feel like it's more feminine.
But I'm not sure I can compare it to anything. Can you? Does that remind you of anything you've smelled before?
Not exactly.
It does kind of have a more of a unique indie kind of smell to it.
It does definitely have an indie vibe.
I would say it's unisex. Although we say it has a feminine touch, I still think a man can wear it. You know what I mean? And it feels more probably fall, winter.
Fall and winter, definitely. I think it's too sweet for summer, maybe too sweet for spring. Yeah, definitely fall and winter. Leaning feminine for me. A guy could pull it off if you're more like metrosexual or... Yeah, if you're more metrosexual, you like to wear something like Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme or L'Année de l'Homme. I guess you maybe can pull this off too.
Resinous sweet, slightly floral first impression. We might be completely wrong on the notes. But that's the vibe that it gives. But quite nice.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Moving on to the next one. The next one is Amber Absolutely. And it kind of says what it is on the tin. It's like, it's an amber fragrance. It has a little bit of a resinous sweetness, but there's a slight, almost like a dirty quality to it that might... I don't think it's super mass appealing. I think this is more niche in terms of who's going to actually appreciate this one. And there's actually a little bit of a soapiness to it, I feel. Kind of ambery, sweet, resinous, but a little bit dirty at the same time as being a little bit soapy. It's kind of hard to describe and a little unusual. It's a bit different. What do you think?
I get the amber and a soapy vibe, and the dirty...
It's strange having a little bit of a dirty quality with a soapiness.
It is strange. I don't think it's a good mix. Personally, I don't.
It feels like a contradiction in a way, having those two elements.
Yeah, I'm not so keen on this one.
But I would say it's probably more masculine, if we had to say. Would you agree? And
it's definitely more masculine. I do not see a woman wearing this at all.
Yeah, more of a colder weather fragrance, like a winter fragrance. I think if you really like amber fragrances, this would be one to check out.
I think this one reminds me of Amber Absolute by Tom Ford. I don't know if that's the inspiration because the name is very, very similar, but this smells like a lighter, more soapy version of Amber Absolute. It's not as pungent. It's not as animalic, but it's just a weird mix for me. I don't like the soapy vibe in there. Amber Absolute doesn't have that soapy vibe. It's animalic and strong, and it stays true to what it is. This one has this added soapiness that I don't think mix well with the rest of what they're trying to do here.
But depending, you know, if you like amber fragrances, maybe check this one out. I think it does go in a different direction, although it is similar with that kind of soapy quality behind it. If you like amber fragrances, check it out. Okay guys, the next one is called Harem Rose. We'll give it a spray and see what we think. This one to me is a little bit unusual. I mean, you definitely get the rose, but it's more of a kind of like a dirty rose almost. And there's maybe a little bit of spice there. It definitely feels like kind of a drier, dirty, kind of spicy rose. Again, more of an unusual niche taste. I don't think everybody is going to love it. I think it's more of an acquired taste. Yeah, see what Timmy thinks.
Yeah, I get that dirty-ish rose. I guess a little bit of spices too. The very faintly, a lot of dirty rose. To me, I fail to see when this will be worn. Like honestly, it's very indie. I just don't know when someone would wear this. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of like our Andy Towers creations, where they feel kind of artistic and different, but also quite hard to wear and quite specific as to when you would pick them up. They're more,
I think they're more like artistic for personal enjoyment rather than for like practical use. You would say, I really don't see this being worn too often. But it does smell like nicely artistic. I don't hate it, but I don't love it too. I'm pretty neutral with this one.
I think it's quite different though. I mean, it doesn't strike me as, I couldn't directly compare it to anything, but probably not personally my taste, and I guess not Timmy's taste either. But interesting, I guess if you like a dirtier kind of rose, then I would probably say check this one out. Most roses tend to be fresher or sweeter. This is a little bit darker. Okay guys, the next one is called BOJNOKOPHFF'S Purple Hat. I really love the name. I think it's genius. Extremely hard to pronounce though, because that's the 5th time I've said it. But here we go. This one feels to me kind of resinous. It's slightly sweet, but there's a slight animalic, dirty kind of undertone to it, and it's quite unusual. I'm not sure I can compare that again to anything. It is more artistic smelling to me. Do you get kind of a resinous, sweet slight vibe, but almost something animalic under it? It's unusual. It's definitely different.
It's hard. It's very, very hard to describe. There's something in the back there that I don't know what it is.
I feel like there's maybe a floral in there of some kind, maybe rose or something.
Maybe some white floral.
Maybe.
I have no clue. There's just a vibe in the back that I don't know how to describe. But resinous, sweet for sure.
The main vibe is a resinous, sweet, ambery kind of a fragrance, but with a slight. Do you get an animalic vibe, or is that just me?
I don't get animalic per se.
Something
like,
a little bit.
It's just
off.
It's just off. It's just it's weird. It's not that I don't like it. Weird is that I can't describe it. But yeah, I do quite enjoy smelling this one. I just think it's weird in the fact that I can't describe it, that's all.
It is very hard to describe in words.
I do like it.
I would say that one is one that you have to test yourself to kind of experience it, because it's hard to describe basically. But it's more unique, it's different. I can't compare it to anything.
It's not bad.
But personally I would say it leans, actually I would say that's unisex.
I think that's perfectly unisex.
I don't think it leans masculine or feminine, but it feels more fall and winter and kind of more evening, like it's a darker kind of a fragrance. You smell it.
Does it smell good though?
You like it? Do you get like a warm, resinous, kind of a slightly sweet vibe? Yeah, okay. That's good.
I think your head's cut off frame now.
Probably has been for the whole video. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So the next one is called Confessions of a Garden Gnome. I know that Pep from the Scentinel really likes this one. So the idea behind this one is that the garden gnome sits in a garden for an entire year. As the seasons roll by, you know, spring, summer, autumn, winter, he sees everything, he sees all the changes. And this fragrance is kind of meant to replicate the idea of that, of the garden gnome just watching the seasons change. So when I first smell this, I get, I know there's a lily accord in here, and you do definitely get kind of a bright spring. It feels like it opens up in spring. It's a light, kind of clean springtime floral in the opening. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely agree.
And it kind of, to me, leans more feminine because of that. So there is a feminine vibe. These are first impressions, so we can't comment on the changes yet, on the season, how it develops. It might get a little bit darker in the dry down, might become more masculine later. But as a first impression, it feels more feminine. It's lily, it's light, it's floral. It's kind of fresh and clean in a way.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, that like I don't really get the change in season yet, but that's probably to come in a dry down as it develops. But right now it just gets spring and feminine. That's what Pete just said. Feminine, smells like the spring season more than anything else. I think it would smell nice on a woman though, but I don't know if it's my taste so much.
I guess you would have to like kind of a lily accord, really.
Yeah,
that's
if
what
you
it feels like.
If you like lily, I guess you might really enjoy this.
I feel it. Yeah, at the moment it feels like a more feminine springtime fragrance. Quite easy to enjoy, I think, for like an easygoing, casual kind of daytime fragrance.
I feel like you would wear this like maybe like fall or springtime and like, you know, white t-shirt and grab a good book and read under a tree.
Yeah.
That's about the vibe it gives. It's very relaxing, very personal. It's not a shouter. It's more like for your own type of enjoyment, your own time, your own personal time. Actually, it's not that bad now that I think about it in that light. But yeah.
Confessions of a Garden Gnome. We'll move on to the next one. So the next one is called Charlatan. This one is very clean, kind of like almost like a soapy kind of a white floral. Maybe soapy is the wrong word, but it's definitely clean, and it definitely gives the impression of white or like a creaminess. It's interesting. It's slightly sweet. This is more singular and simplistic. I feel this is probably one of the more simpler ones from the line, but I feel probably more. It's a more mass appealing kind of simple. Easy to like kind of a fragrance.
I do like this one, but I can see that it is really, really simple.
Would you go along with a kind of a generally kind of a white floral, but
general white floral woman's fragrance?
Maybe for the spring, even the summer.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find any other things to say about it. It's really just that. It's just simple.
It is very simple, and I guess not much to describe in words because there's not many notes you can really pick out.
You've smelled something like this in other fragrances before. It doesn't feel all too special to me. It's just to me very, very simple. Not that it smells bad, but it's not something that you've never smelled before.
But it does smell good.
It smells good.
I can see. I feel this would appeal more to women that just want something simple and pretty and easy to wear for the daytime as a kind of a spring summer fragrance. Very simplistic. Okay, so the last one from the line, I can't actually pronounce the name, so I'm going to give it a go. I think it's Faith Sultan Mehmed. That might be completely wrong. This is very kind of, it feels like a more of a complex fragrance at the same time as being quite simplistic. It's hard to describe. There is kind of a cleanness to it, and also like slightly soapy, slightly floral, almost an incensey vibe behind it. Definitely very indie and a little bit more unique and unusual for me.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I do now get the incense accord now that it's been mentioned. Like the further away I smell, the more incensey it feels. I think when I smell it really close, it smells like just a jumbled up like pile of like different notes. There's a little bit of everything in here, but I think when you actually wear it and smell it in the distance, it does smell like it's just a really, really simple incense. Like that's probably the easiest way to explain it, but man, it's a mix. Like I don't know how to explain this.
Now I spray it on skin. I think incense is a good word. There's also a slight spice that comes through on my skin, but there's also this strange combination of something that feels soapy and clean and floral at the same time as incensey and slightly spiced.
Yeah, more incensey and spice. Yeah.
From a first impression, I quite like it, but I feel like maybe the soapy quality is a little bit unusual for me, a little bit different. I would like to see how that develops on my skin and how I feel when I wear it. But I quite like it. It's a little bit different. I don't think I've ever smelt a incensey kind of a fragrance that combines this clean kind of a soapy accord with it. I think that is quite different and unique. Obviously we're doing this completely blind and we don't know the notes. I feel this one is more spring, maybe even fall, and actually kind of all season really.
Yeah, pretty much all season.
And I would say it's unisex, maybe leaning a little bit masculine, but I feel the soapiness and the cleanness to it actually lends itself to being quite unisex as well. Okay guys, that's just a quick first impression, a blind first impression. I think that gives a good honest opinion without being influenced by the notes. You know, it's giving us what we feel like it smells like. It's very honest and just a good first impression, I think, is a good way to do it. And I will delve in when I get home into doing full reviews, seeing how they develop and change, and giving a more detailed review for you guys. If there's any that you would like me to review first or specifically, let me know and I'll try to do that first. That's it.
Yep.
We'll
that's
see you
it.
guys in the next video. Check out Timmy's channel, Imagine Sense. Link is in the description. I'll see you guys later with another video. Bye. Get your shit together. We're gonna finish this.
Okay, it's fine. Tonight has been interesting.
Yeah.
Are you glad you're here to witness all of this in person?